Well, good evening, everybody. This is Tim. It's the night before the Super Bowl. We're less than 24 hours before the Kansas City Chiefs take on the San Francisco 49ers for the second time in about 4 short years. Last time they're meeting the Super Bowl was in 2020, right before the COVID outbreak, or as the COVID outbreak was starting to happen. So let's get into tomorrow's game. As you can see, I'm wearing last year's championship T-shirt. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year versus the Eagles, and we're going to take a look at why the Chiefs should win tomorrow at Las Vegas in the home of the Raiders. The Raiders have yet to play a playoff game there. The Chiefs will be the first team to make an appearance in the postseason there in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. So the 49ers come in at 14-5 overall for the season, including the postseason, 12-5 regular season, just a game ahead of the 11-6 Chiefs. The Chiefs have won 3 postseason games this year, 2 of them on the road. First time the Chiefs have gone on the road with Patrick Mahomes did not seem to be a problem. The team seems very focused and businesslike. As for the 49ers, they squeaked by 2 NFC North teams that the Chiefs happened to lose to in the regular season. The Chiefs losing their opening game to the Lions on Thursday night to begin the season by 1 point on a pick 6 off the hands of Kadarius Toney, who might play tomorrow, who might not. They might use him as a punt returner. Hey, last year he was great as a punt returner. Returned the ball down to 5. We scored. He scored a touchdown. Got no problem if the guy is focused. If he's going to be a problem, if he's going to be a head case, keep him out of the game. Side note, Jerick McKinnon has been cleared perhaps to play. He's probable tomorrow. Will probably be a game time decision coming off a groin surgery. It usually takes about 8 weeks to heal. He's had about 3 weeks. He's trying to prep best he can and get into action. Key play last year, he stopped short of the goal line, and we ran the clock down for the final kick to win the Super Bowl, not going to overtime. All right. So the Chiefs and the 49ers are a little bit of 2 different teams. The 49ers have a more potent offense this year than the Chiefs. A couple nice receivers in Deebo Samuel. He's a tick better than Rashee Rice, but Samuel has been prone to injuries off and on this season and other seasons. They also have Brandon Ayuk, and I would say he's about Rashee Rice, maybe not quite, somewhere in the Scantling, maybe above Scantling mold there. They also have Chris Conley, a former Chiefs player who was, I believe, in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. Obviously, they have Christian McCaffrey at running back, and don't forget the fullback Juszczyk, who scored a touchdown against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in 2020. And they have a very fine tight end in George Kittle. He's not quite Travis Kelce, but he almost is. So these guys are very talented on offense. Now the key is going to be the quarterback. Now Brock Purdy had an excellent comeback season this year. He probably should have been almost comeback player of the year. He had a nice season last year. Of course, he suffered the elbow arm injury in the championship game last year against Philadelphia, where Philadelphia totally punked the 49ers. The Niners returned the favor this year at Philly, but they missed the Super Bowl last year because they couldn't beat him. But Brock Purdy's had a very nice season, very capable quarterback, but I'll get into things where I think the Chiefs can take advantage of him. Let's look at some of the common opponents that the Chiefs and 49ers have played. Most recently, the Chiefs played the Ravens 2 weeks ago in Baltimore and won by a touchdown. I said they might win by a touchdown. I think I had a 24-20 prediction on the game. It was 17-10 Chiefs. It wasn't too far off, about a touchdown by both teams. But anyway, I said at one point during the video, if you watch that I think the Chiefs will win by a touchdown. Sure enough, they did. Okay, so the Chiefs did beat the Ravens 17-10. Whereas the Ravens beat the 49ers out in Santa Clara 33-19, where Brock Purdy threw like 4 interceptions. Now, the Chiefs and Ravens defenses are very similar. They get pressure on the quarterback. They have nice defensive backs. And it's going to be a little bit similar to that game. I think it really is. I could see the Chiefs winning by 10 or more. I know the 49ers are favored by 2. That's the line right now in Vegas. But I think the Chiefs can win by double digits, just like they did last time, 31-20 back in 2020. The Chiefs had to score 21 fourth quarter points in the last 10 minutes to do so. I don't think it's going to be the case this year. That was the first Super Bowl for Mahomes and Kelsey and the team. They've been to 2 others since. They're a little more businesslike. They're very, very focused. They definitely want to run it back this year and get back-to-back Super Bowls, being one of the few teams that have won back-to-back Super Bowls in Super Bowl history. It's been 20 years when the Patriots did it since a team has won back-to-back. Other teams that both teams have played, the Lions in the AFC Championship or NFC Championship game at San Francisco looked like they were going to maybe take it, and they just kind of fell apart in the second half. They did beat the Chiefs on opening night by the 1 point on that interception. Then there's the Packers the week before. The Chiefs played the Packers in the regular season up in Green Bay, and the Packers were coming off a win against the Lions and played very good football against the Chiefs. The Chiefs looked a little discombobulated in that game for whatever reason. And so if you're looking for a similarity team, it might be the Packers towards the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are more of a Ravens type team against the 49ers. So I think looking at those games, probably that's a good way to mix it up between the two teams. Both teams played the Bengals, very different results. The Chiefs won by 8 at home at Arrowhead, whereas the 49ers lost by 2 touchdowns at Santa Clara. Both teams played the Vikings on the road. The Chiefs won by 7, and Frisco lost by 5. Both teams played the Eagles. The Chiefs lost on a rematch of the Super Bowl. I can't remember if it's Sunday or Monday night. It was one of those 2 nights. The Chiefs losing by 4, but really had a chance to win that game, should have won. The Eagles, though, trounced on the road by Frisco. Frisco went in and beat them by 24. First game of the season, the Chiefs played the Jaguars and won at Jacksonville in a rematch of the playoffs last year. Chiefs won by 8. Frisco went on the road and beat them by 31. Now, I will say I believe that Trevor Lawrence was injured and didn't play in that game. So both teams with common opponents this year have the same record, 4-3. But the outcomes of some of those games are very different. The Chiefs beat the Ravens, the Bengals, and Vikings, of who all the 49ers lost to. And both teams beat the Jaguars, whereas the Chiefs lost to 3 teams that the 49ers beat. So that's quite the thing. As far as the home and road on those, in those 7 matchups of common opponents, the 49ers were 2-2 at home, 2-1 on the road. The Chiefs were just 1-2 at home, but 3-1 on the road. Keep in mind that Allegiant Stadium is where the Raiders play in Vegas. Chiefs have been there every year for a number of years and have won every time in that building. Patrick Mahomes is 2-1 in Super Bowls. The only Super Bowl he lost was to Tom Brady, and that was basically a home game for the Buccaneers as the game was in Tampa, and the offensive line was just decimated with injuries. We do not have that this time. We have a healthy offensive line. We probably have the best defense we've had probably since the Marty Schottenheimer era, when we had Neil Smith and Keith Traylor on the line and Derek Thomas the linebacker. And that team was pretty good, barely losing to Denver that one year. And they tried to start Elvis Gerbach, brought in Rich Gannon too late. Gannon should have been the quarterback that year, and the Chiefs should have made the Super Bowl. So I think this is the best defense we've had in a long, long time. And you know what they say, defense wins championships. Now, the Niners did make a trade with Washington during the season and brought in Chase Young as a D lineman. And, of course, they've got Nick Bosa, and I'm sure Kittle and Deebo Samuel and some other 49ers that have been there for 4 years, Juszczyk and some others. And, of course, Shanahan would like to get the revenge on the Chiefs this year. I don't see it happening. I see the Chiefs winning this game. It could either be close, up to another 10 or 11-point win for the Chiefs. And it would probably come down to the middle of the fourth quarter or so, maybe even late into the fourth quarter. Maybe it'll be a late touchdown that puts the Chiefs up by double digits. but I think the Chiefs can pull it off by double digits this year. I don't know if it's going to repeat of the 31-20 score. I see the game being a little less points than that score. Probably more like, but I see the Chiefs defense playing really well. Only give up 10 to Baltimore at Baltimore was a huge success, and the way they bottled up the Bills up in Buffalo. So the 49ers losing 33-19 to the Ravens. And then let me see what their loss to the Bengals was, just real quick here. 31-17. So let's give the Niners 17 and the Chiefs 27. How about 27-17 Chiefs? And it might be a late touchdown that gives us that 10-point win. Maybe we're up like 20-10 like the Niners were. The Niners get a touchdown, and then we answer back with another score ourselves, something like that. So I see that there. Butker kicking a couple field goals. I think the Chiefs will get some scores against the 49ers. I mean, Detroit put up a number on them in the first half, and but their defense couldn't close it out for them. They gave up some critical plays. Could be that type of a game, just like the Niners-Lions, but I think the Chiefs' defense is a little more solid. They seem to shut down top receivers. Deebo Samuel had a really nice game against us in the 2020 Super Bowl, and if they would have given him the ball more often, I think they would have won the game, but for some reason they didn't. McCaffrey is going to get his yards. They're going to get some passes to Kittle. Chiefs normally have trouble covering the tight ends. Samuel will probably make a big play. Ayuk will catch a couple passes. Conley's going to be anxious to get some catches against Kansas City, but I think the Chiefs' pass rush will get to Purdy enough times to make him throw errantly and either have key incompletions or perhaps interceptions by the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are certainly capable of returning an interception for a score, as we've seen this year. So, again, I'm going to go 27-17 Chiefs tomorrow. I would expect the game to be close through three quarters. The Chiefs finally breaking away towards late fourth quarter with a double-digit win and a repeat championship. They'll be the first team to repeat in 20 years. At least I'm hoping so. I think it's going to pretend that way. Isaiah Pacheco in his second Super Bowl. McKinnon hopefully be healthy, ready to go. They'll have Hilaire healthy, ready to go. Kelsey's anxious to get it for Taylor Swift. The Chiefs, when Taylor Swift is in attendance, score 24 points on average. When she's not there, they score about 19. She's slated to be at the game tomorrow, winging her way back from Japan. So the Chiefs are at least good for 24. I think they'll be good for an extra field goal on top of that, 27. I think they'll hold the Niners to just 17. 27-17 Chiefs in the Super Bowl tomorrow. We'll see how I do. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoy this video. Please share with others, and I'll see you next time.